What happens when theatrical fantasy meets Parisian legacy? You get John Galliano for Dior. Today, we are diving into one of the most iconic eras in fashion history. John Galliano at the House of Dior celebrates bold silhouettes, early 2000s magic, and a few of the Rosta motifs that we still know and love today. Not only did John Galliano shape the era when he was at Dior, but he still continues to shape the way that we see fashion today and even some of the contemporary collections that new houses are doing. Let's dive into this edit, John Galliano for Dior, which you can shop on What Goes Around Comes Around's website right now. Let's set the scene. It's 1996 and the House of Dior appoints its first ever British creative director, John Galliano, who was known already for his romantic historicism mixed with incredible technique and progressive themes. John Galliano took everything that he was already known for and applied it to the House of Dior. Galliano infused the French house with drama, fantasy, and romance. His runway shows weren't just runway shows, they were cinematic masterpieces, and the accessories, totally unforgettable. The Rosta saddlebag from John Galliano's 2004 collection is a collector's dream. I mean, who can forget that original iconic ad starring Gisele Bündchen and Karolina Kurkova, where they are in the full Dior Rosta print bikinis, the fur hats, and of course the iconic Rosta print snowboard. This is a collection that we love for collectors, whether it's your first Dior saddlebag or your 50th, you cannot go wrong with this iconic yellow, red, green, and beige print. There's so much to love about this saddlebag, and it has that incredible John Galliano original construction. This mini tote in Dior's iconic Monogram print is from 2003. This shape feels much more classic, and it's ideal for everyday carry while still being an iconic taste of John Galliano for Dior. Here we have Galliano's tote-size version of that gorgeous messenger bag. This is another amazing style because even though it was designed in 2004, it actually fits a laptop and it's big enough for all of your modern tech accessories, which is something I truly love about timeless design. John Galliano designed these before we were carrying laptops and phones around, but it's still just as utilitarian today for anything you would need to carry as it was in 2004. John Galliano's Spring-Summer 2006 collection was perhaps his most theatrical and bold in all of his time at Dior. Presented in Paris in 2005, the Remove Before Flight collection was inspired by the 80s Club Kid movement, and each piece actually featured a Remove Before Flight tag like we see here, similar to those in classic aviation outfits. This is a really cool piece from John Galliano's time at the House of Dior. If you look closely at it, you can actually see that this green and beige leather and canvas trotteur handbag is supposed to be like the waistband of your jeans. Here we have your belt and your buckle, and then in this corner here, we have almost like the pocket of your jeans. It's a really cool, really Y2K piece, and I love it when we get it in alternative colors like this fun green. This piece is from, if you know how to read Dior date codes, the year 2001. So John Galliano really came in hot in 1999 with the saddlebag, and this came out just a couple years after, really so iconic to his time at the house because he was always having fun with really progressive silhouettes that no one else was making at the time. This messenger bag is a perfect example of what John Galliano did best. Mix utilitarian, progressive styles with all of the drama and the fantasy of a Dior bag. This is a great utilitarian style because it features the crossbody strap and it's made of a really durable coated canvas. Does this bag look familiar to you? It was actually featured in the iconic 2004 ad featuring Gisele Bündchen. This is the bag that she's wearing all the way crossbody while she's carrying the other Diorissimo pieces. Next up, we have an iconic Rosta era fedora hat by John Galliano for Dior. If this hat looks familiar to you, you might recognize it because icon, rapper, and producer Missy Elliott actually wore this hat in part with a full Rosta print Galliano for Dior outfit in a 2004 appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman. This is perhaps the most outwardly minimal John Galliano for Dior bag that we have, but that does not undercut how iconic it is to the ethos of the house. This piece is crafted in a rich, dark, luxurious velvet, and it ties into the historical romanticism that we saw so often in John Galliano for Dior. His runway shows were always tied into different periods of iconic history. So while this piece appears to be a simple evening bag, there are so many elements of John Galliano that we love it for. It's a great collector's item while still being super practical for easy wear. John Galliano didn't just design handbags and clothing. He really created an era of fashion that was unlike anything we ever saw before. From his cinematic runway shows to his bold, romantic, and progressive silhouettes, there is really nothing like John Galliano for Dior, but what really set him apart and made him special was that he was always taking risks, but it was grounded in technique. Every single one of these pieces, whether his handbags or his ready-to-wear, is created with the utmost technique and craftsmanship. So he brought in bold, progressive silhouettes, but he brought in the technique as well to back it up. We love John Galliano for Dior, and we're so happy to be able to bring you an exclusive capsule collection of all of his most iconic pieces available to shop on our site, whatgoesaroundnyc.com, right here. Run, don't walk. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at whatgoesaroundnyc for more deep dives on vintage designer history. Have a topic you want us to cover? Leave it in the comments below.